Past life for Chad. Past life cards, the chopped cards, character cards. Here we go. Huh. So I'm going to put this so you can see. Yes, I knew it was our Chad. Okay, so hopefully you can see what's going on here. I'm getting, what is it? Were you raised by wolves? And sort of this energy where you were raised, but very much in an unusual way. So this coming out of the cave, becoming the phoenix, becoming the child, and moving forward again. This is something very unusual. It's almost like an orphan in the streets that goes place to place, a little bit forgotten for a little bit. Now this is part of the story. This is a child's part of the story. There's something about, yeah, there was famine and hunger. There is a sense that there was a little bit of an abandonment or a turning you over to somebody else's care that didn't work out, and the situation got more dire. Don't know what that's about, but that's what it feels like. This is showing me asteroid. It's something that hit really hard, and I don't know what it was about. Something that hit really, really hard, affecting the mother of that time, affecting the boy, affecting, yes, you're coming through as a boy in that previous time. And it's that boys were like hard to come by. Boys were like valued for their ability to work the farm, work the land, whatever it is. There's usually more value for that. But in this particular case, I don't think that your mother or family had the ability to provide anything. It's like something totally wiped out whatever was going on. Now, here we have infantry, and it feels like there is something about the dad goes off to war. What's going on? Give me a second here. We've got creator, careerist for your dad, going off. Architect and engineer. This is why. This is his skill set. This is what he wanted. This is what they wanted from him. It feels like your dad went off in a military way to do something. It doesn't feel like he returned. It feels like they wanted his skills in order to bring something forward. His skills in order to move forward, move some kind of direction that is a territorial gain, a territorial asset. Meanwhile, your mom is at home, and it feels like your mom is at home and literally has you as the baby. I don't even know that you couldn't have been very old. Did your dad know of you? Yes, he knew of you. How old were you when this happened, when this war came? It feels like you were younger than 2. Hang on, let me get some other cards. 1 second. These are my tarot cards that I use for past life, but they often don't read like tarot when we're in this. So let me get this out of the way. I want to see what else is going on with this. Go in here. Sleepwalkers Tarot. What's going on? It really does feel like you were kind of the grubby street urchin for a little bit, and not your fault or anything to do with that, but it's like your dad went off and did not come back. Your mom couldn't handle you all on her own, and what's the deal? I want to know what happened with your mom, besides just that there wasn't like enough to provide. What happened with her? She died flat out. I kind of got that, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Death is coming through. Very much death on this one. What happened? Feels like this is something that happened like in the throe of winter, in the depth of winter, is when she would have died. So this is something that probably in modern times we would survive a cold or a flu. It wouldn't be a big deal. But it feels like in this time that flat out, it just was not a doable thing for her to manage. Who is this that's her friend? This is a friend that sees from the distance what's going on, sees what's happening. I don't know if it's her sister or just a friend, but it feels like there's somebody that sees from the distance, understands, knows the depth of what could be a problem. Yeah. Knows the confines, knows the gift, knows the offering. The friend can't take you on as far as add you to her family herself, but the friend takes you to some place where other kids would be, where she thinks it might be good for you. I don't think it is good for you, actually. I think it's very, very difficult, and you run from that and go into the street. So what's going on with this? It's almost like from like 2 to 6, you're in some kind of, it feels like the orphanage. From 2 to 6, you're in this orphanage place, and it's not that it's poorly run, it's just that it's poor. But it's not enough. It's not enough. At 6, you leave. 6, you go into the street. What do you start doing? This is where you start hiding, and this is really interesting. You're hiding and you're taking advantage of when sailors are coming in from the, I don't know why. It's like you're hiding and taking advantage of when sailors come into port, or when the men come back into port and they're all a little bit drunk on rum and looking for love and all of that kind of thing. You see this as your opportunity. This is where you go and get things, swipe things. I think you are a bit of a thief, a bit of the pickpocket, a bit of a scoundrel, a little scallywag. It's not a bad thing. It's just a matter of survival. And you see the opportunity when the guy is looking at the chick and he's looking away. This is the perfect time to get a coin or a copper or whatever it is, or two. And this is how you do it for a long time. This is how you do it for about 4 or 5 years. This is how you eke out your existence. You do know the safe spots to be at. There is a friend, an older brother friend. This is why you survived at all. There's an older brother friend on deck. This isn't literally a brother, but he's like a brother to you. He's been in the street for a while. He's been looking at things, doing similar. He teaches you. Yeah. He teaches you to see the opportunity, partners with you, moves things forward. What do we have here? You want to look at it from a different point of view. You want to operate differently. You're not quite ready to operate differently. How are you going to do this? How do you get around and move beyond? I think you realize this isn't the life that you want to have forever. This isn't the route that you want to go forever and ever. This is a route that is expedient for the time being. There's somebody that you see that's the wealthy, wealthy woman. You can't necessarily get to that echelon, but she's what inspires you to do differently. You can't stay a thief and a beggar forever, so what do? You can't stay a thief and a scallywag forever. You realize that you can work the cute factor for so long, but then you're outgrowing the cute factor too. You don't want to go doing any kind of soldiering at this particular time. No, no, no. What is it you want to do? Now, this is interesting. This is coming through with this architect energy and the architect energy here. The way you design, the way you structure, the way you build. This is something that's a complete 180. This is where you pivot, pivot, pivot. You start building something a little bit differently. What's that about? Hermit. This is literally like you go from being the street thief to seeing somebody who is the builder, who does like brick and mortar type work and plans and builds plans and makes plans, and you're interested in what they're doing. And this is when you hook up with that person or get connected with that person. Hook up is the wrong word, but you get connected with that person. It's like you find a way to intern. Why are you interning with the builder? Very interesting. Because you have the mind like your dad did. You have the mind that is the planner. You know how to plan. That is your strength. You will see things in the distance. You'll see things down the road. You'll know. You know how to plan, how to stack and build. You know how to lay out the plan. You know, there's a natural thing that you know about this. Here you learn more about how to figure out angles. This is angles. I'm getting the shape of the cathedral built windows, the cathedral, I can't even do it with my hands, but the cathedral point windows, that kind of window, you know how to construct that. You know where the pressure points are when that extends. I'm also getting, if you build an arch and there's keystones and capstones, you understand what those would do. There's a natural instinct for doing entryways. Again, the natural instinct, the natural knowing. This is an inner knowing on how you would do this. A really big inner knowing on this. This is where your truth comes through. This is how you've seen and hidden in those entryways and archways all around whatever city this was. So you know the ones that were weak, you know the ones that would crumble. You would get inside view of underneath those archways. You'd get the view of the rocks. You get the lay of the land on that one. Then you go across the top of that archway, sneak and scurry along those walls. You're really, really picking up everything. When you were in your street urchin days, you were picking up all the information you could from everywhere. You were like a little sponge, learning. What else happened? How long are you with this one? This is like you were with the guy that's the builder guy, and here's the showing of the cathedrals. You were with the builder guy, and it feels like you were there for 5-6 years. So we have you, all of this has happened before you're even like close to 20, even close to like late teens. All of this is happening. You're learning. You're definitely getting a lot of the grunt work, the assistant work, but you know how to do this. What happens after that? Somebody turns down an offer that you make to do something, and it really, really hurts your pride, hurts your ego, upsets you. So you go to a different location. I think that you wanted to do a certain project, be in on a certain project. I'm getting that you wanted to be included on a certain project and you weren't allowed to take the lead on it, and it made you upset. Why? You knew how to do it. The guy that you were training with, he should know that you knew how to do it, but it's his reputation on the line. You're more than just the intern and the assistant here, and you want to take some things on your own, but he can't have you and your idea take over his work, so he has you go on your own now. What's going on there? This is like you go on a travel now. Lots of lives in this one life. This is showing me that you go on the travel, you do your thing, you start your new thing, but you're starting, instead of doing arches and beautiful entryways and beautiful things, you're having to do walls and fences and roads and basic delineations of territory, of places. The wands are all about the territory. Basic delineations is what you're starting with, what you're doing. There's this household that likes the way that you do things, that you have been around. This is like probably, I don't know how many miles. It feels like it's multiple days walk from where you originally started doing the masonry type work. It's many days walk from there, like many days walk from there, to be in this new space before you get like where you're settling down and finally get some acceptance going on. This is where balance comes in for you. This is where you decide you're going to start your family. And it's not so much because you want to start a family, but it is so much that you love this certain woman. What's this about? You see, it's about the knowledgeable new start. Somebody that is really, really, somebody interesting, attractive to you. Somebody that you just can't stop thinking about. Overtakes the thought, and you decide you'll get grounded and put roots there. That's what's coming through. It kind of comes complete here. It doesn't want to go on and on about the family and the story of this. It wants to go on about what you chose to do as your calling, and how you managed to survive these different situations. How you went from difficult situation to a learning environment, and then a better learning environment, and advanced a little bit along the way. Each time advancing along the way. Each time acquiring more for what you could carry forward, offer forward to the point that you did make the offer. You felt like you were able to offer. Up to that point, you didn't feel able to offer. That's what I'm getting. Anything else on this? Something about the interwovenness of a thing, the interwovenness of a thing. Something about the way that these braids come through on this one. I don't know why, but it's the interwovenness and the way that the hair is braided. This is how you knew that you could have a life with this person, is something about how the braids were done, and it acted so nicely organized and structured and built, stacked in such a way that this is what caught your attention, and this is act as an echo to you because it was woven so tightly and it understood. It was understood. So that's what I've got. That feels complete. You're welcome. You're so, so welcome. Next, Jessie for a full. Okay. Chad, before I let go of this, there's something about the way you're weaving things in, weaving stories, weaving worlds together, the way you're weaving something from the past to the current time that is important, and you're doing more of this work than you realize. There's still very much part of the builder that is weaving things together. I don't know what that's about, but it's something that you still do to this day. You will do always. So that's what I got. Really, really kind of a crazy, but a good one. So that's what we got. All right, let me put these cards away, and we'll get to the next one. One second. Okay, and then we have Jessie. Just a general reading? Sure, absolutely. Give me just a second and we can get that. Okay. All right. Hey there, Steph. Good to see you. All right. Okay. We're going to Cyril Marchetti's Grand Lux for Jessie. One second. Now, these are some of my absolute favorite cards. Like one of my very, very strong go-to decks. All right. Let's go like this.